To just make you a greater fighter? What do you think's the next legacy fight there for you, Errol?
I don't know, but I never say I ain't fight nobody. I'll fight whoever.
And you and Mel are like brothers. You're not going to fight for Undisputed 54. What's the next, step to just make you a greater fighter? What do you think's the next legacy fight there for you, Errol?
I don't know, but I never say I ain't fight nobody. I'll fight whoever.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, what you just heard was the voice of undefeated, unified WBA, WBC, IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top 2 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, if not number 1, definitely top 5, top 3, in Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr., 28 wins, no losses, no draw, 22 big wins by way of knockout. He is 32 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. He was asked about would he ever face off against his fellow stablemate, 3-time junior middleweight world champion, who currently is the undisputed junior middleweight world champion, superstar boxer, who should be widely considered by many top 5 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, in Jermell only Charlo, who is 35 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 19 wins by way of knockout, 32 years of age, 6 feet tall with a 73-inch arm reach. And Errol Spence, as you heard, he said, don't tell nobody that I won't fight Jermell Charlo, right? People just assume because they're both trained by well-renowned trainer, soon to be 2-time trainer of the year, future Hall of Fame trainer in Derrick James, okay? And their stablemates and their friends. Errol Spence had this to say when asked about it. Let's listen again.
And you and Mel are like brothers. You're not going to fight for Undisputed 54.
You and Mel are like brothers. You're not going to fight for Undisputed at 154. Should you not land the highly anticipated Undisputed welterweight showdown with undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, currently the reigning WBO, World Boxing Organization, welterweight world champion, who was widely considered by many to be the number 1 best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, in Terence Crawford, who is 39 wins, no loss, no draw, 35 big wins by 30 wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach. If you don't land that fight, who are you going to fight? What's your next big legacy fight? Because we know you're not going to fight Jermell Charlo, we assume, and Errol Spence had this to say.
Next, step to just make you a greater fighter. What do you think's the next legacy fight there for you, Errol?
I don't know, but I never say I ain't fight nobody. I'll fight whoever.
So he just told you, I'll fight whoever, right? Meaning that I'll fight Jermell Charlo. This is not the first time Errol Spence has stated that he's willing to fight, Jermell Charlo. Okay, if the opportunity presents itself, he'll fight Jermell Charlo. It's us as fans, media and boxing pundits that we assume that because of their relationship, Errol Spence has no interest in fighting Jermell Charlo, but he's making it abundantly clear that's not the case. He stated on another occasion that, if the fight presented itself and the money is right, I have no problem fighting Jermell Charlo, right? Now, Jermell Charlo, he doesn't utter the same sentiments. He don't feel the same way. When Jermell Charlo was asked about fighting Errol Spence Jr., Jermell Charlo, he stated, that's my brother. He had no interest in fighting Errol Spence Jr., and he's not going to let nobody pit them against us. Jermell Charlo, he just did, a press conference in interviews for his upcoming undisputed title defenses against Australian star boxer and son of a legend in Tim Tszyu, right? So he's gonna fight Tim Tszyu January 28th. And so Jermell Charlo, he was asked about what's his next move, and he stated that he's a career 154 pounder until he's not ready to move, or he's ready to move until being told otherwise, right? So he stated that I got a close friend and stablemate in Errol Spence that's at 47, and my identical twin brother, 2-time undefeated reigning WBC middleweight world champion, superstar boxer Jermell Lions Only Charlo, or Jermell Hitman Charlo. Jermell Hitman Charlo is 32 wins, no loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout. He is 32 years of age. They're identical twin brothers, but he's 6 feet tall with a 74-inch arm reach. So he said, my twin brother's at 160, Errol Spence at 47, so I'm going to make a career out of 54, right? He said, now, if they move up, you know, then I'll move out. So Jermell Charlo lets it be known he's not really interested in fighting Errol Spence, and obviously he's definitely not interested in fighting Jermell Charlo. But Errol Spence is making it be clear he's drawing the line in the sand, right? There ain't no line in the sand for him. Jermell Charlo's drawing the line in the sand. There's a limit. There's a limitation to who he'll fight when he has friendships and relationships. And Errol Spence is letting it be known there is no line in the sand. You know, it's invisible. You know, I want to fight the absolute best there is to offer, right? So he's a dog. You know, so he said that, you know, obviously he wants the Terence Crawford fight. He stated that, you know, Terence Crawford, you know, looked great in this fight. He said that Terence Crawford always looked great in this fight. Terence Crawford is a good fighter. That's a legacy fight, obviously, for him that he wants to make happen. And so, you know, he gave Terence Crawford props. He said that he don't watch fights on Fire Stick, right? You know, so he pays for fights. So, you know, somebody asked him, Terence Crawford said Errol Spence is watching the fight on Fire Stick. And Errol Spence said, Terence Crawford don't know what I have in my house. I don't watch fights on Fighter Stick. So, meaning that I support Terence Crawford fights, right? So he's letting it be known that he supports Terence Crawford fights. But you got everybody out here complaining about Terence Crawford going to BLK Prime. Salute to BLK Prime. And, and that he supports Terence Crawford in his endeavors, right? And he says that, you know, if the fight happens, it happens. You know, if it don't, it don't. He's trying to figure out his next move, trying to figure out what new car he's going to get, because he was just recently in another car wreck, totaled his Bentley. So he's focused on, you know, those life things. And not to mention, he's a promoter. So he have a fighter, an undefeated lightweight star boxer, Frank Martin, who will be fighting in action tomorrow against another lightweight star boxer, Michelle Ali Rivera. They're in Las Vegas at the Cosmopolitan. And so, you know, he stated that, you know, obviously he's focusing on that. He's a promoter, and Frank Martin is his fighter. So he's focusing on that. So, you know, it seems like Errol Spence is, you know, after he suffered that horrific car accident, October of 2019, after unifying the belts, Errol Spence has a completely different outlook and a completely different mindset on life, right? And he's preparing for the future, right? He's preparing for his kids' future, his parents' future, you know, overall, his significant other. So Errol Spence is definitely preparing for the future, definitely have a completely different mindset. And, you know, he's focused on, you know, his legacy. And I'm sure he wants that Terence Crawford fight, right? Undisputed fight. You know, he stated that he's definitely getting older, and it's not easy to make 147 pounds. So he said that, you know, somebody asked him if, how hard is it to make 147 pounds? He said, you know, this go round, he said, it's as hard as it's been for some years now, you know, so it ain't nothing changed, right? So it hasn't gotten harder, but definitely, you know, Errol Spence has been saying for a while, I've been at this weight for 10 years. I'm a grown man, you know, I can't walk around. I don't walk around at 147 pounds, so I got to cut this weight. Obviously, it's not easy for him, right? He's 33 years younger than Terence Crawford. This is the biggest fight in boxing. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence. Errol Spence versus Jermell Charlo will be enormous. Errol Spence has plans to build his legacy, and he's not going to let nobody or nothing stand in the way of that. Not even if that includes if he got to fight his stablemate in Jermell Charlo, right? So he's letting it be known it don't matter who or what he got to go through. He's gonna build his legacy, and he's gonna make it happen. So him and Jermell Charlo is a very, very interesting fight, because Errol Spence is a southpaw, Jermell Charlo is an orthodox fighter. Their styles are very, very mimicking of each other, right? They're trained by Derrick James. You know, once upon a time, Jermell was trained by Ronnie Shields, who would train Jermell Charlo, because we know Derrick James started this in the sport with Errol Spence at this level, you know, and Jermell Charlo went to Derrick James afterwards. So obviously his that being Derrick James, he would have to be, you know, stay with, you know, Errol Spence. He don't have to, but, you know, it's just, you know, seems like it's just common sense that he would stay with Errol Spence. And who would train Jermell Charlo? And they both know their weaknesses. That would be a very, very interesting fight. So let's see how this unfolds. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, you know, should begin negotiations, because, you know, right now Terence Crawford finished his fight. Errol Spence still doesn't have a fight, nothing announced. So it just makes sense to make it happen. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all in one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.